Hello, and today we are going to work on doing two-step equations. Yesterday we did one-step equations. Today we are now doing two steps. So before we do that, I want to go over something. Remember, to solve equations for a variable, we have to isolate the variable. We have to get it all by itself. So it's like x equals or y equals such and such. In two-step equations, we have to get rid of the term without the variable first before solving. Now that sounds a little confusing, so let me show you what I mean. So I have two equations here, and it looks like it's going to take more than one step to solve them. So we're going to use some of the skills that we learned yesterday to solve these two-step problems. So I have 2x minus 3 equals 7. Now, I want to solve for x. So it's x equals. But notice I've got this minus 3 right here. And if you look back for a second, it says we have to get rid of the term without the variable first before solving. So that means I have to get rid of this minus 3 first. So to do that, I do the inverse operation and I add 3 to both sides. And those cancel out, and now I'm left with 2x equals 7 plus 3, or 10. All I did was I added 3 because I got to get rid of that term first because there is no variable attached to it. Next, it turns into a one-step equation, and since it's 2x, I need to divide to get rid of it. And so I'm left with x equals 10 divided by 2, 5. And then you could always double check to make sure that works. So if I plug 5 in here, it's saying 2 times 5 minus 3 equals 7. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 3 equals 7. So it's true. X equals 5. Over here, I just do the same thing. I got to get rid of the term without the variable first. So I have plus 5. To get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. I'm left with x divided by 4 equals 17 minus 5 is 12. Then I'm dividing by 4 here, so to get rid of it, I have to multiply both sides by 4. Those cancel, and I'm left with x equals 12 times 4, or 48. So try these 3 on your own. Remember, get rid of the term without the variable first, and then isolate the variable. So I have x divided by 4 plus 7 equals 12. First things first, I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. I get x over 4 equals 5. Multiply both sides by 4. To get rid of those, and I'm left with x equals 20. Over here, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. And I get x divided by 9 equals 3 plus 15, which is 18. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. And I get x equals 162. Down here, I have 5x minus 9 equals 26. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. I'm left with 5x equals 35. Since I'm multiplying 5 times x, I'm going to divide by 5. And I get x equals 35 divided by 5, which is 7. Come on, there we go. So x equals 20 for this first problem, x equals 162 for the second problem, and x equals 7 for the third problem. Now, what if I have two terms in the numerator and there's a denominator? What am I supposed to do? Well, you use the same process you would if you had to get rid of something in the denominator first. I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Because what this problem is saying is x minus 8 divided by 4 equals 11. So I need to get rid of this 4 first. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. If it helps you understand what's going on here, you could put parentheses around the numerator. These two are together. So those 4's cancel out, and I'm left with x minus 8 equals 11 times 4, 44. Finally, I need to solve for x. I need to get it all by itself, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'm left with x equals 52. I'll do another one. So x plus 6 divided by 3 equals 9. So first things first, I need to get rid of that denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. And those are going to cancel out. So I'm left with x plus 6 equals 9 times 3, 27. Then to solve for x, I need to get rid of the 6. So since it's plus 6, I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I'm left with 27 minus 6, 21. X equals 21. Double check, you could always plug it in, remember? So it's a good one to look at. 21 plus 6 divided by 3. 21 plus 6 is 27. 27 divided by 3, 9. So yes, that one works. Try this one on your own. Now be careful, there's a negative down here. So remember, you're going to have to do whatever since you're dividing by -2, you have to multiply both sides by -2. Give it a shot. So I'm going to multiply both sides by -2. And those are eliminated. I'm left with x minus 4 equals 5 times -2, -10. Then I need to add 4 to both sides. I'm left with x equals -10 plus 4. That's like saying you're down 10, and then you gain 4 more. You get -6. You could always think of it on a number line. You could use it in terms of money. You could use it in terms of sports. You're down 10 points, and then you score 4. You're now only down 6 points. All right, so I want you to try these 4 on your own as a little test to see how you do. It's important that you do these because as we keep moving on, equations are going to get a little harder. So, I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And I'm left with -x equals 13 plus 6, which is 19. And then remember from chapter 1, whenever we have a negative symbol in front of it, we can multiply or divide by -1. And we basically are just flipping the sign. So x equals -19. There's 1. Let's go over here. I have 2/3 x minus 5 equals 8. So I need to add 5 to both sides. I'm left with 2/3 x equals 8 plus 5, which is 13. Then remember, whenever we have a fraction as our coefficient, to get rid of it, we multiply by its reciprocal. We do that on both sides. And if it helps, you could always write the whole number over 1. The 2's cancel out and the 3's cancel out, and I'm left with x equals 13 times 3, which is 39, over 2, And even though it doesn't come out to a whole number, it's still the correct answer. 39 over 2, or if you want to write it, 19.5, or 19 and a half. All right, let's move down to these two. So I have 3 minus 4x equals 19. Now, this is positive 3. So remember that there's a plus sign associated with positive numbers. So to get rid of that 3, I have to subtract 3. This is a positive 3. So to get rid of positive 3, I have to subtract 3 to get to 0. So I'm left with negative 4x equals 19 minus 3, negative 16. Or, sorry, not negative 16, positive 16. Let me erase that for you. Then, negative 4x equals 16. Divide both sides by negative 4. I'm left with x equals negative 4. Because 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. Finally, the last one. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. I'm left with x divided by 6 equals 18 minus 12, 6. Then, since I'm dividing x by 6, I need to multiply both sides by 6. X equals 36. And that's it. That's all there is to the lesson today. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to take the KIA quiz, and have a wonderful evening.